Alrighty, welcome everybody. I hope everyone's ready for some fun cards tonight. My name is Julie Brown. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, and welcome to my Facebook Live. Some of you may be watching this as a replay on my YouTube channel. That's perfectly fine. Whether you're with me live or watching on my YouTube channel, if you have any questions, just make sure you type them into the comments and I will see them and answer them as quickly as I can. Obviously, if you do that live, I see it while we're on live and I can answer those right away. So while I'm waiting for everybody to get on, let me get some housekeeping out of the way. So for those of you that, if you see something that you like tonight and you don't already have a demonstrator, that is my hostess code right up there. Please use that if you're ordering and your order is below 150. To order, you can go to juliebrown.stampinup.net. If you need to reach out to me, you can talk to me at my email, which is juliescreativestampin without the G @gmail.com. Hey, Shanine. Also Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram pages, Julie's Creative Stamping. My YouTube channel, you have to put Julie Brown, then the dot, then Julie's Creative Stamping. And you'll want to check out my blog, juliescreativestamping.com, as that is where eventually everything I do on my lives will show up there. But on my YouTube channel, and hopefully on this live later, I've never done this before, I am going to try to give you guys links to the PDFs for everything that I am doing tonight so that you can get all of the cut instructions and the assemble instructions. So yay! Alrighty. Okay, so what I decided to do tonight is I am still working with stuff from the mini catalog because it's not gone yet. I know we're all excited about the new catalog. Again, for those of you out there that don't have a new catalog, if you don't have a demonstrator, reach out to me at my email and I'll get a catalog sent out to you. But we have our new catalog coming out in May, and I've been playing with some of the new stuff. So much fun. But we still have a mini catalog that's live, and yeah. So I'm going to be working on that. And as most of you know, I was gone for a month and a half with my husband up in Colorado while he had open heart surgery. And so I didn't get to play with a lot of the stuff in the mini catalog. So I'm making up for lost time. Okay, so what I wanted to do tonight was because I always miss this, guys. Every year I'm always behind. And this year I'm like, I am on it. Because May is graduation month, right? And so I thought I would show you guys 3 cards that I've designed that have different ways, different places for the pocket to put gift cards in, or you can put money in them. But I thought, what a fun thing to do in April to give all of us time to get those cards made and ready for those graduates in our family and friends circle. So tonight, that's what we're going to do. So I am using, let's get it switched over. I thought this was the perfect suite for graduation. And this is the Enjoy the Journey suite. And I believe it's still available. I just looked and I didn't see any of the stuff on discontinued or not orderable. So I believe everything that you're going to see tonight, you can still order. But as you know, the suite includes everything that you see, which I will go over. But in that suite is the stamp set and dies, and those are called Greatest Journey Bundle. And there's that item number for that. So just getting you guys ready for all of that. So let's look at the suite. So the suite has this really cool Greatest Journey stamp set. And as you can see, it has wishing you joy in the next adventure. I'm so inspired by your courage. This moment is the start of something great. You belong among the stars. And then, of course, there's also a thank you one, Mountain of Thanks, that you can put on here, right? So doubling that up. And then it has these really fun dies. Gosh, there's so many dies, guys. I did not use all of the dies. I did use the clouds. I used this mountain edge for almost every card. I did use the hiker, the biker, or the hiker, the runner, and the bike tonight. So you're going to get to see all of those tonight. But yeah, really fun. I didn't use the tent. I can't wait to use that, but really, really fun set. This would be a really good set for masculine cards as well. All right, let me move those out of the way. And then it also comes with this really cool 3 twine combo, baker's twine. And believe it or not, I ended up using black instead of one of these colors because the one card that I wanted to use twine on, I didn't use any of these colors. Silly me. Hey, Cindy James. And then these are these really fun enamel sticker icons that come with this suite. Lots of fun. I am using those tonight. And then let's look at the paper really quick. So it's double-sided. So we have this side and then this side. And then we have this Starry Night side, and the opposite of that one is this one right here. Guys, look how pretty these are. I mean, talk about, you know, I love it when designer series paper does pretty much all my work for me. Then there's this one, and the opposite of this one is this one. And you'll notice that they kind of have these seams cut in half, which makes it really nice because you can just cut this and use this, you know, you can cut it like this way, like 4, 4, 4, and then if you cut it at 5.5, you have all of these pieces for cards. All right, let me not transgress. Okay, so here's this side, and this is the opposite side of that one, and then we have this one that has the trees in it. Oh, Keisha, yeah, love the DSP. Hello, Keisha. Okay, and here's the other side here. And then we've got this one, and the opposite of that one is this one. So beautiful, beautiful paper. Really makes making cards easy. But since I'm doing like some fun, these are all like fun fold cards. So let's get busy. I did do a lot of my die cutting ahead of time just to save time. And so I know you guys are used to me doing like a simple, casual, and avid. These are all kind of between casual and avid because of the type of card that we're doing. Yay, Keisha, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Susie. All right, so let's get started. And again, like I said, I am going to be attaching the PDFs to my YouTube channel once I get it uploaded there. So you don't need to worry about all of the measurements. And if I can get it attached to this Facebook Live in the comments later, I will do so. Okay, so this one I call a double fold gift card holder, and mainly because I'm folding it twice, right? So we kind of have like the card base, we kind of have like 2 card bases, right? And so what we're going to do is I have just, again, I've pre-cut this. Don't panic. I will put all the measurements up later. But what I did was I just cut up a lot of this designer series paper. And so I'm going to place, I call this the back because it's like the bottom, card base bottom. So now you will notice that these do have like ridges, like these are mountains. And so I'm going to kind of pay attention to the direction and make sure that I'm laying them down properly. So so I have this double fold card, I have a half fold card, and then I have a pop-up one tonight. Are we excited? I'm excited. Alrighty. All right, so let's lay this down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the flap shut, and I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, I almost put that upside down. Because see, what it does is it kind of carries the scene across. And that's what we're trying to do. Alrighty, so then we're going to stick this one on there. And I know I'm going kind of fast. Again, guys, I've done PDFs for all of these that I am going to put up on my YouTube with links. And I'll try to put the links on here, so don't feel like you need to panic because I'm not giving you measurements. All right, so there's basically kind of my bottom of the base of the card. So now what I want to do is I want to take this one, and again, I've got to pay attention to where the mountains are, and I want to build my little running scene. And so this is what, where's those dies? So this little die right here is what I call the mountain edge die. And so it cuts out this really fun mountain edge. Now, the nice thing about it is you can cut it as big as you want, and then you can just kind of, you know, finagle it the way that you want it to look, and you're going to be moving it kind of up and down. And sorry, I hope that didn't mess up. I had a note, do not disturb, but apparently it let that call come through. Okay, so anyway, we are going to, you can adjust this up and down like where you want it to sit. And so I'm going to bring in my silicone mat so that I can do just that. And I'm going to bring in my liquid glue because all of you guys should know me. You know what I say, because it gives us wiggle room, right? Now, I like my Stampin' Seal and I use it a lot, but when I'm kind of building scenes, you'll see me use, that's when you really see me using my liquid glue. And that's because it does let me kind of shift and move the way I want to. Okay, so we're just gonna lay that down. And then, oh, I don't have my glue scissors over here, so I'll have to make sure I clean my scissors really good afterwards. So for those of you that, if you do have to cut with your scissors, I use rubbing alcohol as soon as I'm done, and I make sure I get all of the glue residue off of my scissors. It's just a really good habit to get into anytime you're cutting through glue, because you don't want that residue to get on your scissors and stay there. Because we want, our paper snips from Stampin' Up are amazing, and we want to keep them nice and sharp. All right, so there's that. So then I'm going to take, oh, I think I'm going to go ahead. I need to do my sentiment on here. So this is the one that we're using, the Courage. And I'm just using black Memento ink. I'm being kind of boring tonight, black Memento ink, but it just fits. And again, I hope you guys can see how these will really be good for graduates. And of course, all of them love the gift card part of it, right? I don't know that they always pay attention to what's on front, if there's money or a gift card inside, but we still want to make it look awesome for them. All right, so I just went ahead and stamped that directly onto the Designer Series paper. And now we're going to do our little runner. I thought these were really fun silhouettes in this little set. And again, these are the dies that go with the bundle. And so I kind of want him look like he's stepping right down there. So I'm just going to place him like so onto this. Whoopsies. And I know that this isn't like, you know, I'm not doing a simple stamping, but I hope you guys can see. Sorry, I got a little glue right there, so I'm going to use my glue eraser and get rid of that. I hope you guys can see that, you know, even with our dies, and even though, yes, you need a little bit more equipment, but, you know, it really makes card making super easy when you have all, well, I call them the easy button tools. Again, those of you that know me, you know I like anything to do with an easy button. And that's what I consider our punches and dies. Total easy buttons. All right, so that's going to go there. And then we're going to add the cloud, the other cloud. And again, you guys can add embellishments to this. You can add all sorts of stuff. My main thing tonight is kind of just to show you how to make these gift card holders, because like I said, graduation is coming up. And I'm ahead of the game this year. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is one of the most important things. Well, actually, let me go ahead and stamp this while I'm thinking of stamping. And on this one, I'm going to use this Adventure Sentiment. And you guys will notice I am really in the habit of taking my ink pad to my stamp. One, it helps me not get so messy, because I'm a messy stamper, unfortunately. I'm not one of those people that can keep my hands perfectly clean when I'm stamping. All right. So there's that. Okay, so one of the tricks to this card is that we have to kind of think backwards, because this is actually, we need the opening to the left side. Remember, we're used to doing this, but we need it to be opposite. So if that's the case, this is going to be the inside of my card. So I want to go ahead and stick my inside sentiment there. Now I'm bringing in my Stampin' Sale Plus. All right. And this one I did cut with like, I think it's like 3 7/8 by 3 5/8 because I wanted just a little bit of a leeway. Okay, so this, what I did with this, just so you know, is I have a 2-inch circle punch, and Stampin' Up! Is coming back out with some circle punches in the new catalog. Yay! And so all I did was I just turned this and I put this in here, and I just punched that to make that little notch right there. So now I want to use tear and tape. Now let me talk to you about when I use tear and tape. So I use tear and tape when I'm going to have a card that moves. I use tear and tape when I have something like this where I'm going to be sticking something in and out of like this pocket so that it doesn't come off. So that's why I use tear and tape. Now, if I put this, I mean, this is pretty thin, but it makes the card really tight. So what I like to do is kind of measure like how long I need. And I'm not being real precise about this. I'm just trying to eyeball it. And then I actually cut this in half lengthwise. So I'm just going to cut it straight up, and it may not be perfectly in half because y'all know me, I'm so not good at cutting straight. That's why I use my trimmer and all the easy buttons that I can get. Okay, so then I'm going to lay this down here, and then I made it a little bit longer, so we're going to snip that edge off. But the reason I do that is because, let me bring in a gift card. See, even with me cutting that thin, can you guys see how that gift card is almost touching the tear and tape? And I don't want it to be that tight. I want to give it, you know, I want it to have some wiggle room in there. So, I mean, I want it to stay in there because, you know, kids can be throwing cards around when they get them. And I know my grandkids, when they get cards, they just, oh, yay. And then, especially if they're at their birthday party and there's other gifts to open, then they set them aside. So you do want it tight enough that it holds the money or the card in place. But you don't want to make it so tight that they rip the card when they're tearing it out. All right, so I'm going to remove that tear and tape, and then this is just going to go right on this right hand side like so. See, and then your gift card is going to fit like so. How cool is that? All right. Okay. And so we want to adhere this piece to this. Now you can do tear and tape, but our Stampin' Sale Plus is really good and really strong. So I feel like this will be plenty to hold this in place. And so I'm going to kind of close this, and let's hope I can try to get it centered. This is so hard when you're doing this on camera because, you know, when you're at home, you can like stick your head down in there. You can get directly over the top of it and make sure that it's all straight. All right, and then we're just going to take this piece and this is going to be added to the card front. All right, there you guys have it, card 1. What do you think? Look how cute this card is, guys. Super cute. You saw how quickly I put that together. Yes, I had die cut the stuff out ahead of time, but come on, that doesn't take that much time. And then you open it up and you have a little place for a gift card or money. And what a fun card to give somebody. I'm so inspired by your courage. Wishing you joy in the next adventure. Yay! How fun, right? Okay, so that's gift card 1. All right, now we're going to go to gift card 2. This one is kind of more for girls because I used a lot of the pinks in this set. So yeah, so we'll see how this one goes. All right, so same thing. I cut out some designer series paper, and I just want to show you. I cut this out. When I cut it out, do you see how I did that? I cut it out so that it's still gonna, you're still gonna see the scene when it's all put together. That's why I like this designer series paper. Super awesome. Okay, so we're going to fold this one. This is kind of like a Z fold. So those of you that are used to doing Z folds, it's pretty close to a Z fold. All right, so I've already scored it. Okay. So I need to build my scene on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and work with, oh, actually this one goes this way. Almost messed that up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and place this piece here. And this is what, when you read my instructions, this is the center, like left. Because even though I'm going to be putting a piece here because I fold this flap, this is my right piece, this is my center piece, and this is the left piece. Just so you guys know. Okay, this was the one I need. Okay. I'm just making sure that I've got my scene together. All right. So this is going to go just like so. Oh, I don't think I got that very straight. Maybe I did. I don't know. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Okay, and then what we're going to do is this piece is the piece that's going to close, but what I want to do is I want to punch out my notch because this is going to be the card holder portion. This way you guys can see me do it with this punch. And if you don't have a punch, but you do have your layering circle dies, you can do the same thing with the dies. You just place your die so that it's going to cut that out like so. So for those of you that may not have a punch, but you have dies, there you go. Whew. Okay. And then I'm just going to eyeball this. Actually, I might just go ahead and place that where it goes. And then that might help me get this. When I did this the first time, I just cut it. And that may be what I end up doing. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. That I think is a little bit easier. Again, you guys know me. I'm not like, everything doesn't have to be exactly perfect for me, but if you're a perfectionist, you can definitely do all your measuring that you want to do. And then this is just going to fit like so on the front. Because you could line it up better. You could actually have probably, put that on there and cut them both at the same time. But if you do that, then you don't necessarily get this white edge, which is what I want. Okay, let me lay it this way so I can get my placement. All right. And then this is going to be kind of the same thing. This is going to fold. And so again, you'll notice if I stick this here, I kind of have enough room to actually, I don't have to cut my tear and tape as long as I get it right to the edge on this one, because this one was a little bit longer than my other one, or I should say a little bit wider, like this way wide. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this particular style of gift card holder, but again, super quick, super fun. Once you get my PDFs, you'll have all the measurements. And then you just shut that like so, and then your gift card fits in right there. But now let's design this side. And again, I pre-cut out a bunch of this stuff. And this one has like a ton of stuff on it. This one's going to take a little bit longer to put together, not much, just because I have a lot more parts and pieces. But I want to show you something fun that I did with this little girl. So she's carrying a lantern. Can you guys see that? But I didn't want the lantern. I wanted her to have like a staff in her hand. So I just kind of came in here and I just cut the lantern off, which I could use later. Susie. Okay, and then I'm going to actually add this staff to her hand. And I'm actually going to do that right now so that that has a little bit of time to dry, because I'm only going to put the littlest, tiniest dot of glue right there. And I know you guys probably can't even see that. And then I'm just going to come up here and lay her hand on the top of that and kind of get it straight. And I'm just going to set her kind of aside to let that dry. Okay, in the meantime, we are going to build this scene. Now this, I purposely cut this so that it didn't go, I mean, I guess I could do that, but I want this lower. So that means this side is not necessarily going to have part of my mountain ridge. I'm okay with that. And you'll see why in a second, because I'm going to fill in the part that needs stuff filled in. So let's bring in my silicone mat again, lay this down. Aren't these dies fun, guys? I just really, really like this set. And we're always looking, even though it's got like a girl hiker, but you know, we're always looking for masculine cards, and this set is going to be something that you can use for masculine cards for a very long time. Okay. Do you guys see how fun silicone mats are? Because that glue pulls so easily off of that. It makes, they're super cool. I have to admit, I have like 6 of these things because I do, well, obviously because I teach classes, but because I use them for all sorts of stuff. I'm actually going to be doing a post on my website soon to show all the uses of the silicone mat because there's so many of them. Okay, so what I wanted to do, because I have this over here, I actually want to kind of cut that off so that this makes it more of a solid base that will kind of help cover the part where the mountain didn't go. Make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So, you know what? I'm going to use my other. I need a little bit. This is the same stuff as what's in the other bottle, but I just put it into this handy dandy because it makes it so much thinner. And then this is just going to go. Actually, I think I'll put this one over here. And then I'm going to come in. Oh, excuse me. I am coughing tonight. Okay. Then we're going to do another one. And I think I just want the tall portion of this one. But no worries. I'm going to use this little one in another spot. So we're going to bring this one in. So the part that takes the longest is building these scenes, but the scenes are what make these cards look so uber fantastic. So I'm actually going to kind of put that right there. And then I think I am going to come in with this smaller one and kind of cover that middle section right there. But see how you can kind of do an operation on these little flowers and kind of make them do what you want them to do instead of how they cut out. Oh, the color combinations. Yeah, dramatic look. I know. Isn't this pretty? I know. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut another one of these apart. Because as you can see, I don't want like the whole flowers. And I'm really liking this whole silhouette look as well. I think it's kind of cool. And it just gives it a really fun look to have these silhouettes. All right. And then I'm going to, I think I just need even less of this one. I just need just a tiny, tiny one over here. I'm still letting my girl dry a little bit because that little staff is pretty thin. Okay, so while I'm waiting for her to dry, I'm going to come in with that adventure stamp. And this time I'm going to be stamping it up here in this top left corner. I'm trying to get my card straight. I use my graph paper to try to get what I'm stamping on straight, because that helps me get my sentiment stamped straight. And I know you guys haven't seen me stamp directly on designer series paper probably forever, but you can see how it works great. You don't have to, put something else on here because this works perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And then I'm going to move this. And now we're going to bring in our little hiker. And she's just going to kind of be going up this hill. Put a little bit there. And a little bit of glue there to hopefully hold this. Probably what I should have done, right, was use my adhesive strips on the back of, like when I cut this little staff out. That probably would have been the smartest move. We have adhesive strips that you put on your cardstock before you cut these out, and then it basically turns these into stickers. Okay, so there's that scene so far. We still have the front of the card to do, so hope you guys aren't getting bored yet. So let's go ahead and the reason that I'm designing this first before I put it on here is because you're seeing how I'm having to trim around the edges. And so that helps with, because if I had built this on here and then I needed to trim stuff, it would have been a lot harder to do that. And sometimes we don't think about that. We just think, oh, here, I'll just, build it on there. Okay, so far, that's what we have. Fun. Okay, I'm going to use these two, but let me get the front done. So I brought in the layering circles, and you guys know that I number mine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting with the smallest to the biggest. So this is the number 7, which would have been the biggest scallop circle. And then for this one, we are going to bring in this other sentiment. You guys know I love sentiment stamps too. So I'm kind of in love with this set because, it has my easy button dies and it's got some wonderful sentiments. So we're just going to stamp that on there. And then we're going to just bring in my liquid glue and just put a little bit on there. Again, you guys know, I always tell everybody that comes to my class, this glue is not your childhood glue from school. You do not need a lot of it on there to make it work. So don't be real heavy-handed with it, because then that's when it gets all over your hands and then you're not having fun. And so even though this has a scene on this side, I wanted to kind of do a different look on the front of this card. So we're going to put this together. Now the last card is definitely an avid card because it takes a lot of steps to get the last card done, but it's super cool when it's done. And it's really not hard. It's just, it took a lot more pieces and parts to put that one together. So hopefully we're doing good on time. You guys know I try to keep this under an hour. So, again, why I don't go through all of the directions. So there's 2 ways that you can do this, because I want to do this so that it sticks out this way, but it doesn't cover my girl. And one of the most popular ways that people do is they just kind of take a pencil and lightly draw a line. And I know you guys can't see it, but I can see the line, so it tells me I could put my glue over here. But I'm always still real careful not to put my glue, like especially liquid glue, because when it pushes, it spreads that way. So I'm always really careful not to put my glue all the way, you know, to that edge. And then you just kind of line that back up. But then you got to turn it in the front and make sure that your sentiment isn't cattywampus. Yes. Or no, Shanine, no. Tomorrow night's class is your free class for being part of my team. And we're doing light up cards. Wait till you guys see. Anyway, sorry. Don't get me squirreled, guys. Okay, so there's that. Now what I want to do is I want to take a couple of these flowers. I'm assuming they're flowers because, you know, they're shadowed, so I really don't know. They could be weeds. And I want to leave one of them full length right here. And then the next one, I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the stem, like so. And we're going to stick that one right beside that one. And then we're going to bring in one of those fun embellishments that comes with this suite. Super fun. Okay, so that's there. And then we're going to bring in, they are called enamel sticker icons. They're actually, I mean, they're thick. I don't know if you guys can see, but they're actually pretty thick. They're so much fun. But I want the little arrows, so let me pull an arrow one out. It's got trees, arrows, and then a campfire. So totally fun. But they're sticky. So we're just going to stick this one up here in this corner. And guys, our card's done. What do you think? This moment is the start of something great. And then your little gift card or money fits right there. Yay! Are we happy? And see how by stamping the sentiment over here, it hides it until you open it. So fun. Okay, guys, that was card 2. Hope you guys like it. Okay, card 3. Here we go. It's like, I literally feel like I'm in a marathon right now, running a race. So any questions or comments on the 2 that we've done so far? Okay, so this one is considered a pop-up because the part that holds the card is actually, when you open it up, it's going to be standing kind of right here. Okay. And so the way that I created that was with designer series paper. And I believe these are, oh, I don't have the right, I believe these are 2x4s. I don't, again, measurements will be later, but you want to like score on this long side 1/2 inch. On both of these. And this is basically going to be the bottom edge right here. But before I do that, I want to kind of put these 2 together, and I want to cut my notch out. Let's see if it'll go through 2. I hope it does without ruining this. I haven't tried it, and this is kind of an old punch, so we'll see. I know if you were using the die cuts, you could definitely cut 2 of these, but let's see. Yay! Okay, so it cut my notches out right there. Okay, so here's the trick with this one. Again, we're going to be using tear and tape, and we're going to put it on the bottom edge. So this is the side I want. This is the side I want showing. So the opposite side on the bottom, we are going to adhere tear and tape. We're going to do that on both of these. Okay, we are also on just one of these. We are going to put, and again, I'm going to kind of put my card here to see. So this is another one that I need to kind of make this tear and tape smaller. So let me kind of measure. So again, I need to cut this lengthwise. Oh yeah, Susie, the retiring set called A Grand Kid also has really good sentiments for a card like this. Yeah, I just liked this set because it just, I don't know, it just kind of made me think of, you know, when they're fixing to leave home, they're starting a new adventure. And even though they might not be going camping or any of that, it's just, you know, they're starting a new part of their life when they, and you know, and this doesn't have to just be for graduation. It can be for, you know, kids that are, you know, going on missions, kids that are, or people that are starting a new job in another area and leaving the, you know, place that they're used to living in. So it can be for adults. But I think that this whole Greatest Journey stamp set really, you know, it makes me think of going on journeys and having change in your life. So that's why I like it. Okay. So I know you guys can't see this, but there is so you want to go ahead and burnish your card base because it's really important that you see this middle line. Now what you're going to do is you're going to just take off this bottom piece, not the two side pieces yet of the tear and tape. And what we want to do is we need this. And so I just want to show you how I do it. I put it so it's facing me and I work on the opposite side of the line. And so I'm going to kind of do my top bottom, getting it even on the top and the bottom. And I want this to be as close to that score line as I can. Now I did get it a little bit more to the bottom than the top, but that's fine. Then we're just going to lay that down like so. Okay, same thing with this one. We're going to pull off that piece from the bottom, and then I'm going to turn this away from me because I want to get it on that opposite side. And so again, and this one is a little bit easier because you already have your other piece to kind of help you get it lined up. But you want to be as close to that score line as you can. And then you're just going to lay that down. Then you're going to go ahead and pull these pieces off. Remember, I only did it on one side. So we're going to pull these pieces off this side. And then we're just going to fold that together. All right. So it looks like so. This is what it looks like so far. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping on a piece of basic white. And for this one, I wanted to bring in the trees and some Starry Sky ink. And we're going to do some embossing on this one too. All right. So I'm just going to go across, and I'm doing either, you can call it second generation or stamping off. But the way you get this different color is before you don't re-ink each time, you just come in and that's the full ink look. And then this is what it looks like when you stamp it again. And I think I kind of need some of that over there so I can even stamp it again. But see how that, and that's another cool thing. So like if you're on a budget and you can't buy all the different colors of pads, this is a good way to get two different tones or shades of the same color. And it looks like you use two different inks. Super fun, right? Super cool. So you'll hear people say stamp off. You'll hear people say second generation stamping. That's what we're talking about, is this technique right there. I think I just got that wet. Okay. And so I'm going to use this moment stamp set again, or sentiment again. I hope you guys are enjoying these cards and it's giving you some fun ideas for ways to gift people. Again, you can use any set that you have. You could do this for Christmas. You know, this layout you can use for Christmas cards, birthday cards, you know, and think of all the stamp sets you have at home that could help you create some really fun cards, right? Okay, so then this piece, I got this kind of wet, so I'm trying to be careful here. So this piece is just going to go on this inside card base. And it is going to go on the right side. And you're going to see it's going to actually help secure this because it's going over the top of it. That's why you need this piece in first. All right. And then for the other side, I just simply cut out some of this. I love this. Look at these colors. Aren't they pretty? But that's why I did Starry Night, because that's what's here on these trees. And so I'm just going to put this onto this. I think this is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is just what's going to go on the other side. Now you could decorate this. You could add a scene to this, but I'm adding a scene to the front, so I didn't feel like I needed to put one on the inside. But because of this little holder, I needed to put something on the left side as well as the right side. So I just decided to use the Designer Series paper. And you know what, guys? That's why it's Designer Series paper is so wonderful, because you don't have to put anything on it to make it look good. It already is really pretty. I mean, look how good that looks with nothing done to it, right? Doesn't that look beautiful? And I didn't do anything. I know. Woohoo! Okay, so now let's talk about the front. So we're going to build our little biker scene. So this time I used our little mountain bike guy. I love the silhouettes in the die set. I think they're just super fun and super cool. Especially if you have kids that do mountain biking. Guys, they're going to love, this could be a great birthday. I mean, yeah, this, you would be like the cool person who gave them a card that actually had a mountain bike on it. Or if they're runners, that actually had a runner on it, that actually had a hiker on it. Yeah, super cool. Right? Because we're the cool ones. Okay. So this one, I kind of want this more over here to make it look like there's a hill. And you'll see how, you know, I cut these kind of wide specifically so I could adjust up and down with them. I think, you know, once you got a plan, you could probably not waste as much paper as I'm wasting. Because you would kind of know exactly the height that you need, but I like to give myself a little bit of a cushion and a little bit of a leeway. So, hold on. Okay, hold on. That's not glued real solid right there. Yeah, so Susie is asking if all of you that are on here that are demonstrators have already received your catalogs, because as demonstrators, we get our catalogs sooner than everybody else. And so hopefully all of you guys have received yours and gotten it by now. Okay, so then I am going to put my little mountain bike guy on here. So he's going to go like so. So it looks like he's kind of going down the hill. Yeah, and again, like I said, if there's any of you on here that do not have a demonstrator, but you would like a Stampin' Up! Catalog, just reach out to me, because we have a brand new catalog that's coming out in May, and I can get one sent to you so you can see all the fun new stuff coming out through Stampin' Up! All right, and then even though it had this really fun, oh my gosh, see, I set that twine down so I wouldn't lose it. And, oh, there it is. Even though this had that, remember this pack here? Now I wish I had used the turquoise, you know, the Coastal Cabana, because there's a scene just like this in Coastal Cabana, and I could have used this, but I'm using black because, you know, I wasn't really paying attention. And that was just the colors I picked. So I'm just going to kind of bring that across. And then I want to tie this about, I'm going to say maybe an inch down, maybe not. I don't know. Just kind of eyeball it. And then you want to tie your knot over on this left side. Whoops. If I can tie my knot. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's very tight. Let's see. Oh, it'll be fine. But the nice thing is because if you don't get it too tight, it allows you to kind of move it. So yay, Shanine, you got yours yesterday. And Keisha, you have yours. Cindy, you have yours. Have you guys had so much fun going through them? Oh my gosh. I've already marked mine up with everything that I think I have to have. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I am just going to, and you'll notice I go right over that twine, but I'm going to just mount this onto another piece of the basic white. Are you guys so proud of me that I'm saying basic white more? I had such a hard time when we switched from calling it basic white or from whisper white to basic white. I struggled so bad. I always kept saying whisper white because that's what I was used to. All right. So that's, oh, I wasn't paying attention to where my knot was. That may not work. Sorry, I'm going to loosen this just a little bit so I can pull that knot where I need it. I need that knot more on that. Oh, come on. It was working so good for me, and oh, it's because I glued it down. Duh! I should have looked at the front of this before I glued that down. Sorry, let me finagle this because I need that knot. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So that's going to sit like that, and then this is going to go on the front. And for those of you that are new to Stampin' Up! Or old to Stampin' Up! And you haven't heard, Stampin' Up! This is the year they've done their color refresh. So they've gotten rid of some colors. They're bringing in some new colors. They're getting new in colors. All sorts of fun and exciting things happening. So be on the lookout for that as well. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, if you guys haven't seen this, this is a really cool, it's the embossing kit, not that Stampin' Up! Came out with. I've always used embossing buddies, and Stampin' Up! Used to sell them a long time ago, and then they quit selling them, and then they came back with this, and so I'm in love with it. I use this thing all the time so that my hands don't get warm. So basically what you do is you take your embossing buddy and you wipe what you're going to be stamping on, because we're going to be using ink called Versamark, and this is a sticky ink. And what this embossing buddy does is it takes all the static out so that when you are getting ready to put the powder on that you need to for this embossing technique, the powder only sticks to the stamp that has the Versamark on it. So that's the whole purpose of that embossing buddy. So now I'm just going to ink up. I know I'm out of the screen again. And then I am trying, and again, you guys know I use my graph paper. I line that up before I stamp. And then I'm just going to stamp this right in the center because I'm going to be cutting this out with a die. Alrighty, so there's that. Then I'm going to bring in the white embossing powder. And yes, you guys are going to have to watch me heat this up tonight. I know most of you guys know how to do all of this, but every so often we have somebody new that hasn't done it. Now, I've got a really good coverage on that, but just so you guys know, like you see that little dot right there, you might want to not have that there. But if you don't feel like you've gotten enough on there, you can put more embossing powder on it. I've done that before where I put a whole other layer on there because I'm not happy with the coverage that I got. Okay, so here we go. This is my heat tool, my Stampin' Up! Heat tool. I'm gonna be turning it on, and I'm gonna try to hold it away from the mic because it needs a little bit of time to warm up for it to work the best. So we're gonna give it just a hot second, and then I'm gonna grab this with my little tweezers so that my hands don't get hot. And then watch the magic happen. We bring in our heat tool, and I don't know if you guys can see it changing, but it goes from a matte color to a very glossy color. My grandkids love this. They think it's magic. It kind of is. All right, so there's that. And then what we're gonna do is I brought in the Stylish Shape dies. That's these dies right here. If you guys don't have this set, you definitely want this. There's the number right there. Beautiful set. Of course, you guys know me, I like anything with stitching. So if it's got stitching on it, it's like my best friend. And I'm gonna bring in my mini Stampin' Cut machine just because it's easier. We have both a big one and then this is my baby. The baby one. And then what I'm going to do is pull some Post-it note stickers. And I'm going to get this placed how I want it, as far as like top and bottom, left and right. That's why I give myself let me go ahead and put this on the plate. That's why I give myself, and you guys should too, you know, I know that we try to conserve paper the best that we can, but sometimes when you're doing stuff like this where you're going to be cutting it out, it's best to give yourself a little bit of extra paper so that you don't have to worry about stamping and getting everything exactly perfect. It takes the stress out a little bit. And then we're just going to take this little Stampin' Cut and we're going to run her through there. We're almost done with this one, guys. But I got to show you when there's a couple more steps to this one because it's really thick with that pop-up. We're actually going to be kind of tying this one shut. All right, let me stick that back where it goes. I try to make sure I put my dies back right away because you can lose them if you don't. All right, so then I'm going to come in with this and I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. And you guys know I don't like my dimensionals to touch my ribbon if I have a ribbon. And this one's pretty easy because it's just baker's twine, so it'll fit right in that middle section. Because the whole purpose of the dimensionals is to, you know, have it kind of pop up. But if you end up putting your dimensional over either ribbon or even baker's twine, it can make it uneven. It makes it unbalanced. So what I'm talking about is I'm going to try to straddle my dimensionals over that ribbon. All right, and then we have this. And you guys can tie a knot. I mean, you can tie a bow if you want to. I kind of wanted to leave it laying because it reminded me of a tassel from a graduation. So that's why I did kind of cut them, you know, at an angle, but I wanted to leave that for that purpose. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is you are going to want a really good hole punch. I have this really cool handy dandy tool. It's a Crocodile. I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but it's a pretty heavy duty thing. The nice thing is that you can kind of figure out how far in you want to go, and then you can adjust this. So I've already done that, so I know exactly where I want this hole to punch. And so I'm going to punch the hole, and then I'm going to close this, and I'm going to take my pencil and just do a little circle right there on the inside. And sorry, I've got to get this little piece of paper that's in there because I need to be able to see that circle that I drew. Can you guys see that? Probably not. And then I'm just going to punch it again. All right. And then I'm basically just going to take some more of this black baker's twine. And you'll see that this no matter how much I burnish this one, because of everything that's in that center and on that center, this card does not like to stay shut. But let me show you. So you're just going to open this little piece here, and your gift card's going to go like that. So when they open it, they're going to I'll put the ribbon on so you can see it, but so there you go, right? And then you open it, and look how that just pops right up with the gift card or the money inside of it. How cool is this card? Right? Alrighty. So then you're just going to take this little bow, you know, this little piece of twine, and you're just going to tie a little bow. And there you go. There's your third gift card holder. All right, so let me bring them all in so you can see them really quick before I sign off. So there we go, guys, all 3 gift card holders. What do you think? Do you like them? And isn't this a fun set? Super fun set. So don't forget, this is the Enjoy the Journey Suite. There's the number if you want to buy everything. That gets you the paper, that gets you the stamp set, that gets you the little icon stickers, and it gets you the twine. But if you're just interested in the bundle, that's the stamp set and the dies. There's the Greatest Journey bundle. So anyway, I just thought it would be fun to do these kind of cards for you guys tonight. Again, let me put this up one last time. There's the hostess code for this month. If you guys want to reach out to me or you have questions, you can email me at Julie's Creative Stamping, or obviously ask the question now because you're live. And I am going to try to put the PDFs for these on this Facebook. But if you don't see it on the Facebook, please go on my YouTube, because I will put a link to the PDFs. It's my first time doing this, so please be patient with me. If it doesn't work, let me know. But the link should be on my YouTube, and you can just like click on it and then print out the PDFs. So anyway, so yeah, so all of these are gift card holders. And of course, then our pop-up one. Guys, it wasn't that hard, but how cool is this one that pops up in the center? So much fun, right? So much fun. All right, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed your time tonight. Anyway, guys, as usual, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys giving me your time. I know how precious time is. I always love it when you join in and I get to see your comments and I know I don't get to talk to you face to face, but I do get to talk to you. For those of you that are coming to my class, it is tomorrow, and the first one's at 10. The second one is at 5:30. We are going to be doing a gift card holder. Not as intricate as these 3, but we are doing one of those tomorrow. We are doing a light up card tomorrow. And then we're doing kind of actually none of them are real easy, but they're going to be tons of fun. So hope you guys are ready to come and get all of that done. And I can't wait for you guys to see your light up cards. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate it. And don't forget to reach out to me, make comments, share, all of that fun stuff. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment and I will get back with you later. So everybody have a great evening, have a great week, and I will be back on here next Wednesday with more fun things to show you. Talk to you soon. Bye.